Hello and welcome back to another GCSE revision video. Now, if you struggle with comparing poems, let's say this is, for example, for power and conflict GCSE poetry, or even love and relationships, or if you are struggling with comparing two poems in your unseen poetry questions, I want to show you a step-by-step simplified guide on exactly how to compare any two poems in the poetry collections that you study, or even in the unseen poems that you study. So when it comes to comparing poems, firstly, I'd like to suggest for each paragraph, don't overcomplicate it. Adopt a more straightforward peel paragraph framework. When I say peel, I simply mean point, evidence, explain, and link. And I will show you how you can use this framework step by step when writing comparatively and writing at a high level. And by the way, if of course you want a little bit more support when it comes to your upcoming GCSE English literature exams, don't forget that during Easter half term, I will be running a series of one-off GCSE literature masterclasses in advance of the 2026 exams. So specifically on the 9th of April, I will be having a power and conflict GCSE masterclass. And on the 10th of April, I'll be having an unseen poetry GCSE masterclass showing you how to go up by 1, 2, 3 GCSE grades in your upcoming GCSE exams. Also, you'll have GCSE model answers to revise from, and of course, this is a live lesson. You can ask me as many questions as you want, to make sure you join in. So here's your step-by-step guide to compare any poems, and this is the structure I would like to suggest you follow. Start off when you're talking about two poems, when you're comparing, with having an opening point relating to the question's keywords, and begin by talking about both poem 1 and 2. You will see here that I've written comparative language on this side. What you want to do consistently throughout your comparison is always show that you're either talking about similarities in two poems that you're mentioning or differences at each step. Therefore, for example, if you spot a similarity you want to talk about with the two poems that you're writing about, use language like, whilst one poem demonstrates this, similarly, the second poem demonstrates that, right? So similarly is really nice comparative language. Also using words like equally, likewise, you do that from the beginning. So in your opening point, talk about both poems 1 and 2. If you're writing about why they are similar, use language as similarly, equally, and so on. If you're talking about how they are different, the two poems are different, mention language like, on the other hand, however, nonetheless. This is comparative language. You need to weave this into your comparative writing. Now, step number 2 in your comparison is add evidence for both poems, right? So quote from poem 1 and then add your evidence from poem 2 in after you have talked about whether they are similar or different. Now, step number 3 is where you include your explanation. This is actually the longest part of any comparative poetry paragraph that you write, because you now need to go into deeper layers of analysis, and this is how you do so for two poems. Step number 1 in your explanation is begin by talking about how the writers and the poets use technique. What I mean by technique is the following. When you're talking about whether they're similar or different in comparison and in connection to the question that you're mentioning, mention things like language techniques, right? What language techniques do the poets use in one poem versus another, or structure techniques, things like caesura, enjambment, and so on. And even form. Is the form similar or is it different? Begin by mentioning technique in your explanation. Then take it one step further, especially if this is poems that you studied in advance, like power and conflict and so on, and mention context in both poems. What does this demonstrate contextually in both poems? Then in the same explanation, then layer in how does this technique and context add to the writer's message in both poems. In other words, remember that when you're writing any form of poetry or any type of analysis across English literature, you not only need to mention the technique that the author is using, but say why they've used it. Mention their intent, the writer's intent and the writer's message. That's really important, especially if you're trying to aim for the higher grades for getting a 6, 7, 8, or 9. Then finish off after you have written your explanation by simply linking back to the question, a really brief link mentioning the question's keywords and whether they show similarities between the two poems or differences. Similarly, on the other hand, and you just finish off by wrapping up. So don't overcomplicate it when it comes to writing comparatively in poetry. What you want to do, however, is make sure when you're writing comparative poems, don't write one paragraph about one poem and one paragraph about a different poem. Make sure you integrate it. And as I said, if you want a bit of support, especially if you're doing, say, power and conflict poetry, or if you are weak on unseen poetry and you want to know how to compare, especially the 8-mark question, I will be running a Power and Conflict GCSE masterclass. This is going to be on the 9th of April during Easter half term. And also on the 10th, I will be having one-off unseen poetry GCSE masterclass. So I hope you join in and I hope to see you there.